Microphone all set. Okay.
Hey,
are you
what
all
is up, my guy?
Okay. Hey, we're back. Welcome to our channel. Welcome to another episodus of Kragers Krossing, the show that asks the
I can't
question.
hear you.
You can't?
No, I can't. I don't think I'm hearing me either.
What are you talking about? Really? Is there?
As long as we're recording, I'm fine. I don't need to.
No, I need to know if you're not. Carly, can you still hear us?
Yeah.
And you're not. You don't have anything.
Not how I was. But if you needed to turn it down so that we could hear Carly, that's fine. There we go.
Okay,
Now I can hear me. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, and I thought we had the levels checked. Apparently we did. Now are the levels checked?
Yeah.
Okay, Re-Energy. Hi, welcome back to the.
Hey, what is up, my guy?
Welcome back to our channel. This is Kragers Krossing, the show that begs the question: can I become an actor as an old man? And now it begs the question: can you become an actor as a young woman? And now it begs the even bigger question: can my other daughter, Carly, your sister, break into this business? Now, I'd like to, we're getting into some real tech here because this week we have a special guest. We have Carly phoning in.
And Woodrow.
And Woodrow's here too. But we have Carly phoning in live from San Antonio.
There you go. We
caller,
rehearsed this.
Caller,
God damn it.
Caller, can you hear us? Can you hear us, caller?
Woodrow's the star of the show. I'm just here for fun.
You know what? No, he's hiding under
posing.
the table. He's hiding under the table. He's not even in the camera shot. No one's even met him yet. But anyway, I want to report that this is, we've got Carly phoning in from San Antonio, and we're really excited to have her on the show this week. And hi, we want to hear all about what you've been up to this last week, Carly, as it pertains to trying to maybe work some getting started on voice samples, or have you even made it that far? Did you get our care package? All of the above. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, I got your care package and then promptly realized that I misunderstood one of our conversations. So I still have some gear I need to buy before I can actually, record things.
Did you hear that beat?
I've been practicing and trying to kind of figure out what I'm comfortable with, which I've discovered is not the sound of my own voice.
Oh, yeah, we're going through that.
I don't know how people listen to me talk, so kudos to you guys, because yikes.
Is it still recording?
It is a task.
Okay. It is, and we just watched a thing, one of these master...
Oh, I was talking about listening to the sound of her voice. I don't know what you're talking about.
We were talking about, you and I just watched a video that Tom Hanks did at Oxford or something like that, and he was talking about rule number 1 in acting: you got to get over how you look. And
if you bring that up one more time...
When have I brought that up on the show before?
Like twice.
Well, she was just talking about
oh, yeah.
not
Okay,
liking
now I
the
see
sound
what you're
of her
doing.
own
I'm
voice.
sorry.
And I'm trying to make that point.
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You know what? For a minute, I'd rather just talk to Carly. Why don't you just sit there for a minute and look beautiful, and let me talk to Carly for a minute?
You know what? You're not the first male that's told me that.
Anyway, Carly, that's the first obstacle, is to get over the sound of your voice, for sure. How's that going?
It's going. I realized that you guys, I'm sure, can relate to this. Working in customer service, I tend to default to this like really weird, the customer's always right, customer service voice, and it's not a good look. It's not good. It's not cute. So trying to overcome, the hostess
with the most
customer service voice.
Yeah, but there's a huge calling for that. I don't know. I'm hearing stuff all the time where just the more the middle of the road, girl next door kind of voice is prevalent in a lot of stuff I hear.
I still can't get over it. We just did one a few days ago that we'll listen to, but Dad and I did one of the insert from Bolt, and every time my first line I go hello, and I can't stand it.
but she actually nails it because
That's
we're
why
gonna
Dad goes. He gets to the end of editing something that I do, and he's like, "How's that?" And I go, "I hate it. So you just have to tell me if it's good or not because I hate
no
it."
she
Is it usable?
Yeah.
well she actually nailed it because what she's doing there's her cell phone is going off and it's me, her dad, calling her, and she's already worried about me. She's sitting in the park with Bolt and she's worried about me. And when the phone goes off, she sees it's me and she goes, "Hello." She's worried. So I think she nails the
I
line.
think it sounds like that.
But-
I think it sounds like hello.
Hello?
It's not
Is
good.
everything okay?
But it's just after every time we do one of these, no matter what voice I do, you turn to me and you go, "How do you like that?" And I go, I don't. I don't like it at all.
So Carly, you're trying to overcome that obstacle of just the sound of your voice and I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and feeling like I trying to find the line between knowing that I need to talk to people in whatever work that I'm doing and not at people. And I feel like there's just a really fine line between talking at somebody and talking to them and how that comes across through your voice when you don't have the in-person expressiveness to convey that. And yeah, it's definitely, I'm very uncomfortable being this familiar with my own voice. I prefer to have a very passive relationship with my own voice, and that's definitely not where this is going so
Have
far.
you explored different types of copy? I mean, have you looked into different types of narration and tried to read certain things, like read some Planet Earth type of narration, or read some news, or read an article out loud from a magazine or something, and
Like a Lunesta commercial.
no, and try to do just a little bit of different things with your voice?
Very little. I think I need a script for Maddie's Big and Toptical, and I can see how I take on that role.
Have I talked about that on the podcast?
Several times, Maddie.
It's famous. We talked about
Twice.
Big and Toptical. I wrote that, by the way. I wrote that all by myself.
Be careful, because you might have actually stolen it, and then it just comes back to you subliminally, and then you're going to have like Joe Rogan on your ass.
Subliminally.
Yeah.
That was a big word for Elmo.
Well, sorry, Carly, it was an algorithm, but it's the best I can do. So, and we've gotten this far, and I haven't even picked up my trusty cards yet.
But we were going to talk about really quick. We would like to shout out a fan that has since written in, messaged me on Snapchat.
Yeah, do tell us about.
I have someone that I used to work with, this kid that I used to work with, and his name is Parker. And I've been posting clips of the podcast on, my different social media, and I posted something on my Snapchat, and he commented on it and messaged me and said, "I just want you to know that I genuinely watch these. And you and your dad are so funny, and I love it." And to my knowledge, he's not into acting or anything like that. So
He's just into us.
he's just in us. So thanks, Parker.
Thanks, Parker.
You're our number one fan.
And I don't know if I got a chance to say this at the top of the show, but if you're joining us again, thank you. So Parker falls into that category. Thank you. And if you're new to the show, really appreciate you joining us for the first time. Go back in time a little bit, check some previous episodes out so you can kind of catch up with what we're doing. But anyway, glad to have everybody along. I really love that. That's good, positive, feedback that somebody that inside that little thing right there is watching and listening.
Thinks that we're funny.
Thinks we're funny, because I certainly.
Thank God someone does.
I think we are. Anyway, so we've been working on some voice samples, and for you, especially this week, you did a couple. You've actually got 3 in the bank.
3.
You got 3 in the bank this week. One was a duet with me, but the other 2 were.
Well, I've got 3 on my own.
No, you've got.
Yeah, I do, because
I've got
Pudge, I've got the shrimp, and I've got the one that I just Googled, the video game one. Do you remember the one I randomly did the other day?
No, we don't. You have to redo that.
You edited it.
I lost that.
You
file.
edited it.
I lost that file. You have to redo that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I don't have that file.
It only took me like 2 hours. That's fine.
You'll be fine. Maybe I have it someplace. We'll see. I'll look. We'll see.
Anyway, and
so we're really, really embracing the technology. If you hear the drums go off, it's because Woodrow's back there. And I got to tell you, he's walked in between the tripod. I've got a really cheap tripod for this camera.
If the camera goes down,
if a breeze blows, it will move it. And he has negotiated through there so nimbly without hitting it. It's just
and he's
really,
not a nimble dog.
No,
he
he's
is
not.
a football.
He's an over.
Him's a stocky boy.
I'm just doggy boy.
See, watch. Here he goes. Now, if you see any movement, no, he did good. Try not to hit the camera.
My God.
So anyway, and so I wanted to share with the audience and everyone some of these voice samples and talk about them. And we're really embracing technology because we have Carly on the line.
Oh, we're going to listen to the sound of our voices in front of people? Lovely. I love that.
I've been able to get the proper cabling that I need to have Carly on the line.
This is like therapy.
I'm assuming, have you hung up yet, Carly?
No, not yet.
Okay, she's still here. She hasn't hung up yet. So that cable's
Thinking about
working.
it.
And I got another cable here that I can hook to the computer so we can listen to these and then we can comment on them. But I'm not done visiting with Carly. So Carly, other than getting past, your voice and the fact that you still have some gear that you need to get, are you what are you doing? Are you looking in? What are you looking into right now?
I feel like I'd say that I'm studying. I'm finding out because there are so many different sub niches I feel of voice acting, and I'm definitely coming at this I think from kind of a different place than you and Maddie, where I'm not working on moving into like in-person acting, or I'm not coming from a background of really doing stage acting or anything outside of like some minor things in high school. So I'm really coming at this from just hearing you guys talk about it, having some influence with other family members who do voice acting, and seeing how I can make it work, and in that trying to kind of figure out if there's a niche that I feel like I fit into best, and looking at different voice actors and actors who just do different voices, even if they're screen actors, like the different accents and dialects and things that they do. And there's definitely some that I can pretty much check off that I'm not not a fit.
Some of the very first exposure that I got to voice acting, the very first videos I started watching and classes I started taking, they don't talk about finding any type of characterization with your voice. They just say, find your voice as a voice actor. And I think part of what they mean by that is getting over the fact that you might have some problems with the sound of your voice, but to find your natural speaking voice. You're not trying to do a character. You're not trying to put any kind of, a Planet Earth spin on it, or shampoo commercial spin on it, or car dealership spin. You're just your normal speaking voice. You've got to find your voice, and it's just your normal, wherever you finally settle into when you're in conversation is that voice. Anyway, so yeah, you got
our manager doesn't know the rules.
So what that's going to entail is finding a lot more stuff, finding a lot more stuff to read, and reading it and getting comfortable settling into the sound of your voice doing that.
I don't think she's giving, when it comes to having a theater background, I don't think she's giving herself enough credit, because I have core memories of her as a napkin in The Beauty and the Beast.
Is that true, Carly Lou? Were you a napkin?
I was.
She was the best damn napkin up there.
I napkined my ass off.
Yes, she did.
But as far as lines.
Speaking hot.
I had one production in high school. I can't even tell you what it was. That opening night, one of the main characters decided she was too busy and didn't show up, and my drama teacher gave me a script, threw me on stage, and said, "Here you go, read the lines." I don't even think anyone knew that it was happening. I couldn't tell you what the part was or what the line was, but as far as actually speaking in front of people, that was it.
That's your credit so far.
Didn't you do Fiddler too? You were in Fiddler.
Yeah, ensemble.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, I remember your big
debut
chorus
debut.
Your chorus contribution for sure. Yeah, I remember that. And then lots of dance, just like you.
Yeah, but I'm also like one of those in middle school and high school where I would voluntarily take points off of a project to not give it in front of the classroom. I remember having points taken off of like science projects and things because I would not get up and present them in front of a class.
Oh, wow.
I only, probably within the last, I don't know, 5 or 10 years of my adult life have realized that I can talk in front of people and not have it be crippling.
Oh, wow.
So,
well, what a terrible father I am, because I didn't know you suffered
You know,
from
the
that.
number
Not
one,
to
like
that
one of the
level.
top fears in the U.S. at least, I think, is public speaking.
Huh.
yeah.
Well, I know the people that can't do it, they can't do it a lot. They really hate it. It's crippling, like
I
she said.
prefer though when I can feel people looking at me, and I've talked about this before, like on stage when the audience is dark, that's different than if I'm standing in front of a class of people that I know.
Yeah.
Like I always remember when I danced, like I would so much rather be on stage than like in a gymnasium because you can see everybody's eyeballs. That I didn't like.
Right.
And auditions I'm notoriously bad at, and I really have to like trick myself into being like, I don't care, because that makes me really nervous. Watching people react to whatever it is that I'm doing, hate that, don't like that at all.
No, I prefer a dark theater where you can't. The fourth wall is just dark and dank. Maybe some feet at the front of the first row, but beyond that, I don't.
Well, and I can't see anybody, and I can just pretend that they can't see me, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's a difference in like situations like the whole school example where I'm delivering factual information where I could be wrong and somebody could easily point out that I'm an idiot and that I'm wrong, and then simply lending my voice to something where that can be interpreted. There's like there's a difference there. There's a comfortability for me of not necessarily having my face out there on things while I'm doing this. It's a bit more comfortable. But yeah, I definitely think that there are going to be categories where I feel like my voice is going to fit, and then some ones where I think they definitely it's not a good fit. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm kind of figuring out, and
Well, and
I'm figuring out that there are some very, very talented actors who I was shocked to find out that the way that they speak in a role is not how they speak in real life.
Yeah.
There's some like the guy that plays Prince Naveen on The Princess and the Frog. If you saw a picture of him, you'd be like, that's him. But it's also worse. I don't know what's worse. Trying to do something and then immediately you're like, no, can't do that. Or doing it and being like, I nailed that. And then listening to it back and being like, I'm never speaking out loud again.
Yeah. Well,
That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Do you two watch Yellowstone?
They do.
We did.
I haven't seen it.
So the actress that plays Teeter,
Yeah.
I have watched sit-down interviews with her, and she has the most crisp, elegant voice ever. And the fact that she pulls out that voice
Yeah.
like it's nothing, it's
Does it look
shocking.
like, do I look like my fucking name is Peter?
Hang on.
You skunk-haired.
You skunk-haired son of a bitch. And he goes, she just called me a son of a... No, she can't.
Anyway, you were talking about voices and how hers as Teeter, as the character, is completely different than her voice.
Yeah.
Her speaking voice.
Yeah, it's one that was really shocking because I would have assumed in real life that she had some kind of southern twang, some kind of accent, and she doesn't. She has the clearest, most elegant, beautiful voice I've ever heard, and then she pulls out Teeter, and it's shocking. And to know that Beth Dutton has an English accent.
Yeah, that was the
like-
one I was gonna bring up, and she gets on and she talks about her vocal coach and what a niche, what a very specific accent to have to do is Beth Dutton is just it's not really country, and it's not really Midwest, but it's not like it's very and she goes, she drinks a lot of bourbon, and so that played into it, and for sure.
When I feel like in Texas alone, like not so much in San Antonio, but in Texas alone, you have so many, depending on which, little nook of Texas you're in, so many different niches of a Southern accent that you would have to work with somebody so specifically for that one area where they're like in Yellowstone, where they're supposed like that very niche accent that they're going to have there. And because I've had people here in Texas tell me, "Oh my gosh, I love your accent. Where are you from?" I'm like, "What do you mean?"
What do you mean?
And
Well,
if
and
from Idaho.
Dad, we'll never forget when we went to visit Carly in San Antonio, the Uber that picked us up from the airport, the Uber driver was telling us about, because we always try to be like, so where should we, what are things we can do, what are places we can go to eat, and he talked about Whataburger.
Whataburger.
For the whole 45-minute drive between
best.
the airport and the hotel.
If you really want to treat yourself, if you
Everyone
save up
thinks
and
it's
you really
In and
wanna
Out,
treat
but it's not. It's
yourself,
Whataburger.
Get yourself Whataburger.
Get yourself a Whataburger. And he had Dallas Cowboys everything all over his car.
And he's probably not from San Antonio, because most people, even native San Antonians, they don't have a Southern accent. That's not local to here. So anybody that you come into San Antonio that hasn't, they're not from here.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, and we talked about this last week, when you're filling out your profile on Voices or Backstage or any of those, and you get into accents, you think they just mean English or Russian or French, but no, man, you get into like New York as an example, and there's 25 different variations, Upper East Side, Bronx, Manhattan, Lower Manhattan, there's all these variations, and same with a Texas accent. There's like 20 different variations to choose from.
You've seen Fred Armisen do his.
Yes,
He'll go on Jimmy, and he'll go. I've been working on the southern states, and he'll go. Louisiana's more like this, and it's real down here, and then he'll go, and then this part is more percussive, and it's more up here, and you pull it back a little, and you don't realize that until you start going through like different stuff that you're trying to do in different like cartoons or animated characters that you're trying to recreate, and then it's like, oh, that's way different here than it is, or like even like a what you would call a southern accent from people who are from Idaho. Mm-hmm. Like when I worked at where I took care of old people at Fairwinds, people that were from Idaho, born and raised, and they've got this little twang, which is crazy because it's like, where are you from? They're like, here.
I always thought Idaho was the absence of any accent. Didn't you, Carly?
So did I. Yeah.
So did I.
The first time I came here, and they were like, "Where are you from? Your accent?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, I
like,
have.
Like, where are you from? Like, Idaho.
I feel like you just sound super like just
boring
American. Yeah,
like boring American. Like if there was a British guy and he was trying to do an American accent and he just wanted to like flatline it, he'd just say, "Well, I'm from Idaho. I'm from Boise, Idaho." But no, that's more. Yeah, I don't hear it, but you're right. We've had that. We go some places.
I've had someone recently tell me that I have an accent, and so now I'm starting to actually believe.
Well, you do. You certainly are you're gonna sound different from somebody.
Well, I know, but I just mean like coming from someone else who's like lives in the States, and I feel like we have the same accent, and then they go, "You have an accent," and I go, "I do."
Yeah. But going back to what you were talking about, Carly, in Texas, there's different ones. Like if you're from the Panhandle of Texas, you talk differently than you would if you were from West Texas or South Texas.
Well, and like the thickest accents, like when you see back in the day when I would watch like Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders making the team, and all the girls that had the real thick Southern accents, they're from Sugar Land, Texas, and like Sugar Land is real thick. It's real, like that is like the quintessential to me Southern accent. Yeah. But if you're just faking a Southern accent, and you're like, they're gonna know. Like you're not gonna fool somebody who lives with that dialect. You're not going to fool them.
No, it's saying like if you try to do a Boston accent in front of somebody from
Boston, they're like,
that's
no.
never going to fly.
Or I always I really want to get through like England, because there's really posh, really educated that kind of accent where I'm really educated, and it's very articulate, and there's very good diction.
You've been to university.
I've been to university. It's very articulate. The diction is very there.
Why don't they say I've been to the university? Why do they just say I've been to university?
I don't know, but they say I go on holiday. They say that too.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side of that, you got like Cockney, where it's like workhouses. Oh, you Batman. What do you mean? What do you mean? You looking at me, bruv? Are you looking at me, bruv? And I'm watching, we've talked about this before too, I'll be watching like Love Island UK, and these fucking people, you've got people that are like posh, like I was just talking about, like Posh Spice, like very Victoria Beckham, very nice, and then you've got some people that are like, what do you mean? I'm fucking fuming. I'm fuming. He's got I just have to pause and be like, this is great. This is amazing content that I'm getting right now.
Well, and I'm realizing,
fuming.
like,
Don't be calling people out like
moving
that,
on.
Dad.
So moving on, what I wanted to do with this episode, Carly, I'd like you to play along, is, and I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this. I hope you're going to be able to hear this. We did some voice samples. We've got about 3 in the bank, 2 that Maddie did, and then one I can't find apparently, and then a duet that her and I did. And we're going to play each one. I'm really embracing technology, so I've figured out how to get you in on this phone call, and now I'm going to try to figure out how to play this on the computer. But
You might not be able to hear it.
you might not be able to hear it, but if you can't, just kind of fake it afterwards. Okay, just kind of
clap
Like,
and
that
nod
was
along.
really good.
just kind of clap and nod,
That
right?
was the best thing I've ever heard.
So I'm going to give this a try. Hang on here.
Which one are we doing first?
We're going to do Pudge. Now this is Maddie's voiceover.
It's sandwich day. Every Thursday, I take Pudge the fish a peanut butter sandwich. But today we were out of peanut butter, so I asked my sister what to give him, and she said a tuna sandwich. I can't give Pudge tuna. Do you know what tuna is? It's fish! If I gave Pudge tuna, I'd be an abomination. I'm late because I had to go to the store and get peanut butter because all we have is stinking tuna.
Could you hear that, Carly?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was our first rendition. Now this was one that we did, and we went back and listened to it. And it doesn't have background noise. I like to put something underneath, a little sound or bubbles or whatever. But we went back and listened to the original, and it was just straight vocal. So that's what we went with this sample.
You're
was,
really proud of the shrimp, though.
yeah. So that's now. So the next
I'm
one.
excited to hear the shrimp.
Okay, so
I
here's-
need to redo it. I can't. I think I'm not back in my throat enough.
So this is the shrimp from. Give us some background on this scene.
So in the
Michelle?
in the Oscar nominated film Shark Tale.
Arguably the
Arguably
best cinematic
movie
wonder
Effort
film
ever.
ever
in existence.
in existence. Will Smith's best work. They're in this. It's a restaurant. It's an Italian restaurant supposedly, and it's a bunch of sharks. And a shrimp cocktail gets brought to the table, and one of the sharks, he has no interest in eating meat or live things or anything like that. The joke is he's a vegetarian. And so he's standing there, and I'm not sure what specifically happens, but he ends up.
He's pleading for his life.
The dad pulls out one of these shrimps out of the shrimp cocktail, and the shrimp's trying to talk himself out of getting eaten. And this is what he says.
Madeline Krager, voice actor.
It's true. And the other thing is, my sister had a baby, and I took it over after she passed away, and the baby lost all of its legs and arms, and now it's just a stump, and I take care of it with my wife, but it's growing, and it's fairly happy. And it's difficult because I'm working a second shift at the factory to put food on the table, but all the love that I see in that little guy's face, it makes it worth it in the end. True story.
But that one's also like more like I started noticing as I kept doing it for like the 9th and 10th time he's got a very baby and put food on the table, like he's got a lot of those inflections that are Midwest almost.
Yeah.
Baby, put food on the table. You know what I mean? Or maybe that's Canadian. I don't know where that comes
I
from.
don't know. Anyway, I was very happy. I spent half a day trying
Happy.
to find the Italian restaurant music to put with that. So, and then so then the last one was the one that we just finished, and this was a duet that.
That's like my lame party trick that I can pull out. People are like, "Do you have a party trick?" I'm like, "Have you ever seen Shark Tale?"
And this is the beginning of Bolt, where she's on the phone.
This is the one I hate.
She's on the phone
hate
with her
this
with her
one.
dad, and her dad's letting her know that he gave Bolt powers, and now he can protect
I've
her. So here we
altered
go.
him.
Here we go.
Madeline Krager, voice actor.
And her dad.
Hello?
Penny,
I don't have much time.
Daddy? Are you okay?
Something's come up at work, honey. Daddy's not gonna be home for a while.
I don't understand.
You can't go back to the house, Penny, okay?
What's happening?
It's all right. You won't be alone. You have Roy. I've altered him.
We changed the name of the dog because we didn't want to get sued. Like, that's a thing.
Yeah, that's what's
I don't
gonna
know.
get us sued.
Anyway,
It was Kevin, and then I went. You know, it'd be funny if we called him Roy, and so.
so anyway, that's where we're headed, Carly, with some of our samples is down those roads.
Down.
You two need to do Yzma and Kronk.
Pull the lever, Kronk. Wrong lever.
I want to do Cusco. You know, Cusco's poison for Cusco.
I want the one where he's like, very good, Kronk. But what's the one where he's talking about? It's no concern of mine whether your family has, what was it again? And he goes, food.
It's no concern of mine.
It's no concern of mine whether your family has, what was it again? Food.
Take him away.
Take him away.
So,
She's talking about where she's going to be at within the week and what she's going to do. And then you were like, how close are you to...
How close are you, do you think, next week to getting recording stuff?
You and I were not simpatico on what interface meant. So I have to order whatever that is, and then I can kind of start doing it that way. There's some other things that I'll still chip away at just to kind of improve sound quality and stuff, but I do still have to get the interface so that I can plug it into my system.
Okay.
But I kind of am doing what Maddie's been doing and like practicing on like TikTok stuff. I don't post them because I'm not brave like that.
Wow, thanks. That's a dig.
You're not brave like that.
No, it was a compliment.
You're so
Jeez.
brave. You can make
so
anything look good.
brave.
You could just wear anything, can't you?
You're so pretty, and like everybody just loves you.
Woodrow, come here.
I wouldn't say everybody.
Woodrow, come say hi. Woodrow.
I will.
I don't think he's going to get up here high.
No,
enough to
he's
say
camera
hi.
shy.
So, okay, you'll get an interface and you'll just take it step by step. Do some practicing, find some stuff and read it out loud. Get comfortable hearing the sound of your voice, and just, push past that. It won't take long. Believe me. You'll end up starting to record so much stuff so often and listening to it and editing it that part will go away soon enough. I promise.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of what I figure, that eventually there'll be a disconnect where, like, yeah, it's my voice, but it's not me. I'm the person trying to sell you hot tubs,
Right.
kind of situation.
Right.
So,
Maddie, did you have anything else you wanted to add this week? I'm through. Let's see. I'm checking card 2.
No, I've
Next
kind of just been.
Next week, I think we're gonna work on a movie trailer. What did we just say before this?
We wanted
movie
to do
trailer?
movie trailer, and then we wanted to do. There's a couple on my list that I still need to do. I still want to do commercial and the fish from Finding Nemo. Hi, I'm Flo. This is my sister. She's crazy. Don't listen to her. That's the one I want to do. And then I have to come up with a couple different ones. Oh, we just came up with today Coraline.
Yeah, I want to
And
do.
Mr. Bobinsky.
I want to be Mr. Bobinsky.
Yeah, we'll do that one.
I am the amazing what is it? The
he-
great Bobinsky.
But you can call me Mr. B because amazing, I already know that I am.
I already know that I am.
Yes.
Okay, so share sample. Okay, that card's done. I'm getting done with my cards. We're gonna close the show.
If that would have hit the tripod and the tripod would have fallen, you would have had to take me to the hospital.
Well, if a little card like this is gonna knock that tripod over, guess what I want for Christmas?
A new tripod.
A new tripod.
Well, let me tell you, Dad, it's a little late because that's not what you're getting for Christmas.
I just want a toy. Just please tell me I'm getting
the
a
last
toy.
time I got you a toy, you took it back, and it was the coolest toy I'd ever seen in my life.
She got me a 4 foot long, literally a 4 foot long
Submarine that could actually go
submarine.
under the water.
It was too big to even fit in a tub. And
he took it back.
I did.
It
I
was
did
Didn't
back
it
to
go
the
in your
sto-
bubble bath?
it
No,
was an
you couldn't physically-
$84
You couldn't
underwater
physically fit-
submarine.
You couldn't fit in the tub with that was the whole
He
point.
took it back.
I did.
You can just go play in Merc's pool.
Oh no, that is a
Oh,
cesspit
go
of.
Go hop the fence and play with your submarine.
Yeah, that would have been fun, but that's kind of
Aim
a
on that is impressive.
I know, right? Well, listen, I want to say
That's why I
thank
said you could cut this out.
I want to say thank you, Carly. I hope this records like it's supposed to. You'll be part of the show this week and every week if you'd like. This worked out really well.
If it doesn't record like it's supposed to, you'll be getting a call from Dad having a conniption fit,
Well,
either
I-
tonight
did
or
I
in the
do?
morning.
I'm gonna give you a call and I'm gonna say, please remember everything you said, exactly how you said it. Ready, go. So no, I'm
Cool.
kidding. But anyway, this is a good show. I'm glad we had you and Carly. Thanks for joining us. Hugs and kisses.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Well-
you know, I know I'm not a real one, but this was fun.
Yeah, you're gonna pay for that one, Maddie. And it's
Whatever.
right before Christmas too.
She made fun of my TikToks, so I don't really feel bad.
How did she make
I
fun of
love
your
your
TikTok?
TikToks. I was complimenting them.
She was. She said
Whatever.
she's not brave as you. That was a compliment, not a
You're
backhanded.
so brave.
You're so brave, Maddie.
Or blue eyeshadow out in public. You're so brave.
Maddie will talk. Maddie will talk to anyone in front
About
of,
anything.
in front of anyone for any reason,
For any reason.
whatsoever. It just
I
doesn't
just like that you're
matter.
sitting here making fun of yourself and then saying I'm making fun of you.
Hey, I'm allowed to make fun of myself. What?
Self-def-
Self-deprecation is my middle
Big.
name. Okay.
Big words
Okay.
on today's show.
When can we get her off of here now?
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye bye.
Oh, he was talking to the camera, but okay.